install a Novo laptop. I don't know, they just made it then, I guess. Well, I'm gonna do a run with not super complicated strats, I guess. So, first off, I'm gonna grab those speed shoes as usual, but I'm gonna take bottom route. Well, that didn't go as intended, so I had to just jump off that slope, I guess. Okay, so that's a 20 bus entry. Yeah, those speed shoes are pretty broken, and also if you do it fast enough. So here... Oh, okay, I missed it anyway, doesn't matter. And then this boss, I'm gonna do it the funny way with the insta-shield. And that's Act 1. In 54 seconds. If you're doing top route, you can get 50 seconds, but you can still do it in... You can still do it in under a minute. You jump just before hitting that wall. Yeah, I'm trying to not play it too risky. I can still beat it in under an hour, I think, maybe, with these strats. I'm even gonna take the fire shield in Act 2. You can actually just use the fire shield here. Although I won't be able to hit the capsule as quickly as if I'm doing this with fire shield. Also, a funny thing you can do, if you slow yourself down and then face right and do a spin dash. First off, it's preferable to wait for this cutscene, the bombing thing to end, so that you don't get hit. Then you slow yourself down, you face right, and then as Sonic is standing there, you can do a spin dash. And then release it. And you can just bounce on this boss, but if you have the fire shield, you don't get hit by the flames at the bottom, so it's even more consistent. And also, if you do it with fire shield, you can just like dash at the end. With the lightning shield, you can bounce as well, you can just jump off, but... Yeah, so after both the ring and the time bonuses hit 0, after Act 2 ends, you basically just reset the game to skip the cutscenes because it's faster. At least in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I don't know in Sonic 3 complete because you have the menu and everything, so it might be slower. So here you land on this left platform. Here, if you're doing this boss with safe strats, you kind of just like wait for it, jump and then use the insta-shield. Jump and use the insta-shield if you're doing this like this. no rescue strats, and then you just hit it from under the remaining 3 times, and you're done with this mini boss. Now on to Act 2. You do a 6 tap at the beginning. You go up, break these walls here, go down. And you wanna try to make the cycle at the beginning. Even if you're doing safe strats, it's just better to go fast to make that cycle there. Yeah, for the rising and falling platform, there's a cycle there. Depending on how fast you do Act 1, actually, it can be different, that cycle. So there's a funny jump you can do, but since we are doing safe strats, you kind of just take the normal route. But there's still... it still isn't that slow though. And there's a safer way to go up instead of bouncing off this enemy. Also, you can just go here, do a 6 tap and jump off this slope. And you make it up. Like that. And here, there's another funny jump you can do to skip a part of the level, but since we are not doing that, you can just do the rest as usual. I don't know what cycle this is though. Oh, and that's a funny one because I got hit while on the hand thing. So here, you pause to see on which one of these cylinders to land on. As you can see, at the very end of the stage, you just stay in the middle and then you pause and you see which one of these to land on. Now this one is tricky, but if you learn the positioning for this, you can just beat the boss by spamming the insta-shield like this. It's not that risky once you learn the positioning. It's basically the dark part of a pillar in the background and the right edge of the pillar. And if you stand there, you just like get the positioning consistently. Marble Garden is also another stage where there's a risky strat you can do, but you don't have to go for it. So you just take top route. You don't do this jump if you're doing safe strats. There's actually a funny jump you can do, but it's super tight. So it's not recommended at all. You take the spinner, slow yourself down, then go up like this. You go down, jump over that enemy and those spikes, and then get to those speed issues. And now I'm gonna pretend I missed the jump here. And you can just take this path alternatively if you don't get to the big fat jump off that slope. And then you take the spinner, break this wall. Oh, I left the lightning shield, but that's fine. You don't need the lightning shield really, it just like loses time obviously to lose the lightning shield. But you can still do this without lightning shield. And now this mini boss. If you're doing this with lightning shield, you can get 5 hits early. Or even 6 if you have tails and you manipulate tails into helping you. But since we are doing this shieldless, you just like do it like that. And now here, you just like hit that boss. I'm recording on OBS so I can like show you the run when I finish it. Oh my god. Yeah, mobile Discord moment. There's this funny trick you can do, but if you don't get it, you can just like grab that second thing. Here you wanna jump when you're on the wall there, the left wall, so you can like get hit by those spikes and not accidentally clip in. And Marble Garden too, because you can accidentally clip through the spikes if you just jump from the middle of the loop and you get too much downward momentum. Oh. So here you can stand here and just use the insta-shield for Marble Garden 2 boss to get 7 hits. And here, if you wanna play it safe, you can just hit the boss like this with the insta-shield. And this is Marble Garden 2. Insta-shield. I don't know, to be honest. So you tap left as you're about to reach that wheel if you jump into the teleporter with a lot of upward momentum, and here you can just literally hold right and then jump off those two things and jump off up this slope. Or you can do a spin dash. You can do a spin dash, hold left, and then do that jump there if you're next to the slope in case you don't make it with the first jump. Here for Carnival Night 1 mini boss, you can just hit the boss as soon as it's vulnerable, and usually the spinner will be in a good enough position that it doesn't completely get stuck. Here you hold down until the signpost shows up and then you release down so that it doesn't phase through. I don't know if that's even a glitch, but it's slower anyway because the signpost takes longer to land. And here in Carnival Night 2, you wanna slow yourself down on the teleporters if you're playing it safe so that you can do this jump easier. And then you just make it up like that. These bumpers, they are kind of like muscle memory. You have to like stay in between those two fans and then make it up like this. Yeah, I got up there in a scuffed way, so I lost the fire shield, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's only a small time save, so you don't need the fire shield really. And now here, if you don't wanna get the bubble shield, for which you will have to wait a bit, in the middle of this, or take a bubble. You can just do this. Okay, I'm gonna take this bubble here. And now you just jump there. When you land there, like you can hit the yellow spring on purpose, and then you can land there and hold right and jump off that platform above. Here you can either move the camera a bit to the left so that barrel despawns the one I was in earlier, or you can just wait for it. And then here you just do a bit of platforming there, like that. Here you can just hit that monitor on the left and then land on the barrel, make it there again, and then jump on that hole you just made with that. And here you just go up carefully, making sure to not fall off these things. So here you move the barrel of doom as usual. You jump there. Here, instead of doing the funny candy cane jump, you can just do a spin dash there and hold left, and you'll usually fall off with a fast spin dash. So that's how you do the safe strats for that. I don't think you have to necessarily do a 6-step, but you have to do a decently fast one and then hold left and you go off that candy cane. So that's Carnival Night 2 with safe strats, kind of. I'm doing it with the original order, so I'm in Ice Cap 1 now. But other than the order, if you're doing Flying Battery first and Sonic 3 complete, then it's kind of just the same, but you do Flying Battery first. But I don't have that choice since this is S3K. Yeah, the intended order. Also, a note about the beginning of Ice Cap 1. When you get off the snow, you wanna make sure that when you do the first spin dash and then hit the thing, the ice thing that you can break, you don't try to do another spin dash right away. You have to wait to see if you break it with the first spin dash or if Sonic stops, because if you accidentally jump under the thing, you die and you lose like 30 seconds for no reason. Which is so silly, like almost 30 seconds. For the entire run, if your PB is optimized. If it's not, you still have a chance at PBing, but it is much slower. And this is the route for Ice Cap 1. This is kind of... fair. Well, this is the general route for Ice Cap 1. If you do this without the lightning shield, the route is still the same, but obviously harder because you cannot just skip some of the platforming sections with the lightning shield. And here, if you wanna do this fast safely, you can just hit it from under with the lightning shield like this. Then stand around here, jump when the boss moves, like that, for the last hit, and that's how you do it safely. I see. So here you break that ice thing, you do a 6-step, you make it appear. And this trampoline, you can jump off it or just like let yourself go up and down normally. runner's choice. If you get stopped there at that slope, which can happen, you wanna do a super fast spin dash. Maybe even pass buffer for it and then get up there. Hit the red spring and then jump and lightning kill jumps to make it up here a few times. And there's a funny jump you can do, but we're not doing that because we're doing safe strats. So we're just going up normally. Jump here. There's an optional jump you can do here up some pillars, but we are just gonna wait for the pillars instead of jumping over them. Like, you can jump over the pillars with the lightning shield. So here, if you're doing the boss the safe way, you can just hit it sideways like this. If I don't completely mess it up like that, and then you just get the hits, I guess. As long as you are careful to not get frozen, you can just spam the lightning shield. And now onto your launch base. So here you can get to this fire shield with a funny bounce or just get it and then go up. It kind of doesn't matter. If you're doing this the safe way, you kind of wanna jump like this and then jump over this enemy and flame dash. And then wait for these platforms and go up them like that. Well, if you're doing safe strats, then the fire shield doesn't matter that much. We can still live without it, I guess. I see. So here you hit the spring and then you go up here. So this is kind of how you play launch base. If you don't lose the fire shield, you can do it a little bit faster than that. Be careful with this thing. You can just roll under it with normal running speed, but if you don't wanna risk getting crushed by it, you just like do it normally. You jump over this thing, you jump over this thing. You can bounce off that enemy if you want with the insta shield. And you just like get through all of this. And here is Knuckles, as usual. Oh, you mean the song, the Sonic and Knuckles theme for Knuckles is different, but yeah. Here you just like hit the boss with the insta shield. Nothing much as long as you're careful to not accidentally. As long as you don't get hit, then you can kind of just do that mini boss quickly. You can optionally get a bubble shield from that signpost, but let's assume that you're not going for that. Because, to be honest, it's not a super complex threat, but it's not 100% reliable, and it does require tight positioning, to be fair, and also timing the jump right to basically make the signpost hit the spot for the bubble shield. So here you can kind of play it safe and wait for the flames if you want. Kind of doesn't matter too much. You hit that thing, And then you take this path so you can get to the bubble shield later in the stage instead of from the signpost if you're doing it like this. And wow, I got super lucky there with those cycles on that. You get to the bubble shield, you go up normally, hit this wall, do a spin dash, and now you can bubble bounce off these birds and skip a good portion of the stage with that. You get the invincibility, and now you can just hit the spring and hold nothing. And that's how you make it up there, and then you make it up here, and you can jump here also, and then you just insta-shield this first boss. Yeah. The insta-shield is not bugged in Sonic 3 Complete, right? Well, the insta-shield, if it is like in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you can just spam the insta-shield without worrying about it getting bugged out. If that's how it works in Sonic 3 Complete. So basically, this second boss, there's a tight position you can use, which is this one, I think. And then you can just spam short hops and insta-shield, or you can just, if you can't do it this way, you can like stand here, do a spin dash, get to the first few hits, and after the fourth one you spin dash off so you don't get hit, and then you can use the insta-shield to get the other ones when the boss is going down, and then another spin dash to hit the boss when it's going up. You can jump off and then jump off that mushroom, like that. I don't know. I mean, Big Arms is meant to be like the final boss, so it kind of makes sense. So you go up here, you don't even need those speed shoes really, if you don't wanna use them. You can just like take it normally, Mushroom Hill 1, and it's hard, but not that bad. Well, that first one is the only really necessary one. Then here you just make it up, you can get to the fire shield if you go for that, which is optimal. For Act 2 at least. And now this boss, you just kind of like do it like this. This is kind of self-explanatory, although it's hard at first when you're learning it. And that is Act 1. You can actually push against the box and then it does this funny thing where Sonic moves towards the rank box. So here, Knuckles is gonna push us upwards as usual. You go up, you hit this spring, and then you wanna go up using that thing, jump off that slope, and then jump and do a fire dash to make it to top route. I lost the fire shield, but that's fine, because we already made it there. And then you kind of do this, the movement's a bit tight, but it's not too bad once you learn it. And there's backups if you miss top route. I should probably show them, but yeah. And there's a fire shield at the end you can use if you lose yours. Yeah, fair. It's mostly the routes. It's mostly the routes that matter. Like, if you know where to go... Yeah. I'm mostly trying to use routes that don't require... like, world record movement or dump jumps or any of that. So here in Flank Battery 1 you get this fire shield. Here you wanna be careful with the cycles, you can actually just play it safe if you want. That's actually really good if it's an hour and 15 minutes. That's actually insane. If they're not a super... If they are not in the community, that's actually wild that they were able to do it in an hour and 15 minutes. So here you wanna be careful with these cycles. And now here, this is a tricky one. You wanna hit the wall, then face left and do a spin dash like that. You wanna move enough to the left that you can do a spin dash and then you hold down, and when you land you fully charge the spin dash and you go up if you do a good enough spin dash, and you can take this route. This is slower than the middle route, but this is the safe route per se. Yeah, for that spin dash you wanna hit the wall, then once you see that Sonic has hit the wall you wanna move to the left, and then when you see Sonic standing, there's a decent window for doing a spin dash. You just have to do a spin dash. It doesn't have to do a fast. It doesn't have to be a fast one. You just have to do a spin dash, wait for Sonic to fall, and just keep holding down. And once you land, then you can charge the spin dash. And you can even pause buffer while spin dashing so that the spin dash is faster. So that you get a guaranteed fast spin dash. Yeah, it is mostly knowing where to go and not dying. Those are the two things that really matter if you want to beat that time. Like, as you can see, I am doing some complex stuff with complex movement, but even if you don't play that good, you can still, like, get within 10 minutes of this run, probably. Here you wanna do a really fast spin dash as soon as you land there and far away from the thingies that go down before the switch, so that you can go under them without worrying about being crushed, and you just like make it under them if your spin dash is fast enough. It doesn't have to be super fast, just like 4 or 5 tap at least. If you have a 4 tap or better, then you kind of just make it under the thingies, like about a half a minute into the stage. And then the rest is kind of self-explanatory, although you might want to play it a bit safer than I am right now, so you don't get crushed. Fair. So here... here... Here you kind of just wait for the laser. I have no ring, so I have to be careful. I can't just like get hit, but it doesn't matter. As long as you're careful, this laser boss isn't that hard. You just wait for it. You cannot make it faster in any way. This is a cycle slower than the fastest cycle you can get, but it doesn't matter unless you're trying to go super fast. Yeah, I think this is 2 cycles slower than World Breaker and like a cycle slower than the usual. But with safe strats, this is still a good flying battery too. So for the boss, there's actually some safe strats you can do. You can just wait on the left side, and then you have to count the amount of times that the boss moves for in total, like the amount of times the boss moves in total. So from the moment the boss lands, you're gonna see it move 1 to the right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you just hit it. When it moves to the right side once and then 9 times to the left, you can just bounce on the boss like that. And there you go. Flying battery 2, and then you just reset that after the scores. And then you enter Sendopolis 1. So here, the way I do it is I jump off this slope and then I go up. I do a spin dash to get rid of that enemy and then a spin dash to push this thing. I wait for this platform and I do a 6 tap to go up, like that. Here you can take this platform if you're playing it safe to make it there. And you just wait for this cycle. So here you can do a spin dash and jump off this slope if you want, or you can just take the loop, whichever one you want. Here you can just take the platform. And also here as well. You can just like take the platform slowly if you want. You can do a spin dash and jump off here, and if you fall, you just make it to the other platform anyway, so it doesn't matter. Here, however, you have to do this jump to make it up, although you have as many tries as you want because there's a red spring. If you miss that jump there, the big fat one off the slope, about a minute in, you just go down here, you spin dash, you go up, and then you just take this, like so. Here you can take damage of those spikes, because there's still rings here, so it doesn't matter, but it's still ideal to just make it there without hitting those spikes. So I'm not going for the fast mini-boss strats here, since we are doing safe strats, but you can just wait for the mini-boss anyways. It kind of doesn't matter. Unless you're doing the super fast strats, you're most likely missing the cycle anyways. So it is the same, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. You can just wait here for the boss to jump. I'm just waiting here. The insta-shield isn't necessary, it's just that because I'm piano rolling, I'm using the insta-shield, but not necessarily because I'm doing it to hit the boss or anything. I'm just jumping here. This is the safe spot, the left folder. Yeah, you just wait for it to beat itself. No early cycle if you just wait for the boss like this instead of hitting it. to knock it out on the last jump. But it doesn't matter that much. It's just like 6 seconds or something. So you pull this thing, you push the switch, you get on it, and then you do a spin dash. You go up, do another spin dash, and do another spin dash. And if your spin dashes are fast enough, you'll make it under the gate. Although there's a switch you can push in case the gates close before you're able to make it under them. For the lightning shield part, when you're getting it, there's a switch to the left of the lightning shield and you can just use that. Here you just do a fast spin dash. It doesn't have to be a 6 tap, it can be a 3 or a 4 tap, but a 6 tap for just to make sure, I guess. Here you just make it up, wait for the enemy to turn around, and then you do a spin dash. Here you can do a spin dash, jump, and lightning shield jump to make it up there instead of having to take the loop. You push the switch here. The platform was in a bad position, so I had to like go around. Also, what were you saying? Oh, sorry. So here you kind of just wait and you make it up normally like this. If you have the lightning shield, that is faster. You can just like make it up with the lightning shield. Yeah, but that requires a lot of practice. Like even the most talented runners like Iandes and Babu Kresa have been running Sonic for literally years at this point. Oh, you're mostly a score player. Oh, cool. So here, you lose the... sorry, I was gonna say there you lose the lightning shield on purpose and then you get hit. You get hit, then you insta-shield just before hitting the boss, and then you hit it 4 times, you get hit again to lose the ranks. So the rank bonus isn't as big, which is actually a time save. And then you hit the boss again and you beat it for Act 2. So you're the regional record holder in your school. Epic. So here in Labyrinth 1, you just wait for the lava there and then you go when it isn't there. Or you can insta-shield through it, but it is risky obviously. Then you go here, you bring this elevator down. Yeah, the fire shield is basically all you need for this stage. Well, you can do it, but you lose a bit over 10 seconds, even if you play optimally. There's a backup fire shield here. I'm gonna grab it just so you can see it in case you lose it. You can grab that backup if you need it. But yeah. And then you just like do this normally, like that. You roll here, or you can just like run if you want to lose the fire shield by then. You wanna lose the fire shield before the mini boss, so I'm gonna lose it here if I just run there. And there you go. Here you can just do a spin dash on the right border and then spam the insta shield like this. And then you just wait for the fire shield to fall. If you beat the hand on that spot there, you wanna wait for it to move up and down 5 times, and then that's where it stops and you can jump and bounce on it. And if you kill it on that spot, the fire shield spawns. You jump on this roof after spin dashing so you can retain your speed. That's another thing, you wanna jump on roofs after spin dashing if possible to retain your speed. Because otherwise if you're rolling you'll slow down, but if you're running you don't slow down. So here with the fire shield you can kind of just breeze through it, otherwise you have to play it safe. There's an invincibility shield that I should have shown actually. So if you watch some of my old PBs, I actually go for invincibility on Lava Reef 2 instead of doing fire shield. Here you do a 3-tap to make it to the right of that switch, and then you carefully press the switch without entering the big ring. You make it onto this platform, do a spin dash, and then jump and lightning shield jump to make it up like that. And this is a good Lava Reef 2 actually, for safe strats. And also because I played a bit bad, not gonna lie. So here you kind of just wait. This isn't gonna be in under an hour, unfortunately. I made a few mistakes and also obviously the safe strats. Yeah, if you do a 145 Lava Reef 2, anything under 2 minutes probably they would go, oh yeah, that was really clean. So there you can grab that fire shield. You wanna make sure to not go down too fast, or that platform that goes down when you're all the way to the bottom will despawn and you won't be able to spawn the boss, so you'll just soft lock if you fall down too fast into the boss. But normally you don't have to worry about that unless you're literally falling straight down. And here the fire shield just makes this boss free as long as you make sure to not get hit by the mines. You just have to be careful here and like not do anything silly. And then you just wait for the capsule and beat the level, and that's it. When the boss dies. Sky Sanctuary, I'm also gonna play it safe and I'm not gonna go for the bounce, since I think that counts as an advanced strat, to be fair. Oops, that was kind of silly, but there's Lava Reef 2. here in Hidden Palace, you kind of just do the platforming like this. You can hit the springs if you want. And then slow yourselves down as you're going up after hitting the first red spring. So you then hit the second one, and there you go. Now for Knuckles, you wanna knock him into the right wall, and then as soon as Knuckles is aligned to the bottom of that board, you see the hieroglyphs at the top. So when Knuckles is aligned to the bottom of the hieroglyphs and has therefore reached the peak of his jump, that's where you wanna do a full jump and then shield to knock Knuckles back. I kind of messed it up a bit, but that's Knuckles. If you do it fast enough, you can do it in under 35 seconds, this entire stage. I did it in 31. If you play perfect, you can get 30 seconds, but obviously that's not necessary. Also, a funny thing to note, I don't know about low 30, but definitely high 30. So here, I don't know. There's a glitch you can use to beat Knuckles in like 24 seconds or something, but that is a glitch, obviously. Here in Sky Sanctuary, you wait for Knuckles to jump and then you release the spin dash. You don't wanna move to the right until Knuckles jumps. And that is because it gives you a good cycle for this thing. You can just grab onto it and jump off right away. Then you go up, you grab this lightning shield, you go up here, do a 6-tap jump, lightning shield jump, roll to get rid of that enemy. You wanna be careful here. And there you go. Here you can kind of just like bounce on the boss if you want, or you can hit it carefully to beat the boss. You wanna be careful there. Well, the lightning shield doesn't matter that much, because it's about 10 seconds only if you know what you're doing. So you just take this path here, you go down, and then you wanna go up here. If you stand on this specific position here, and then you jump and lightning shield jump, once there's an opening, you can just beat the boss like this. Although if you lose it, you can just spam the insta shield instead if you lose the shield. So it kind of doesn't matter too much. Here you do a 6-tap jump like this. You wanna roll after releasing that 6-tap so you don't get hit by the enemy. But I got lucky, so I didn't have to worry about that. And then you just do this platforming. There's some stuff you can do to save time, but you can just do it normally. If you want, you can just do it like this and that's fine. Then you take the spring, and then you make it to Mecha Sonic. You wanna lose the lightning shield so that you can spam the insta shield. So I got bad RNG, but because I reacted properly, it's only like a second time loss at most. Mecha Sonic is actually RNG. He can either just like stop there or he can go backwards, depending on the luck you get. Detect 1, you kind of just play the level, I guess. You wanna be careful to not lose this lightning shield. Well, if you practice Sonic and Knuckles, and you do Sonic and Knuckles runs first, then it's not gonna give you that much trouble. you kind of just do the stage like this. You can jump on these things to like make sure Sonic doesn't go up or down. And that way you can just like get in those holes if you're having trouble with them. You can just like jump and get Sonic stuck in place, vertically speaking. Like in the gravity things. Here, you wanna hit this one first, wait for this one, then press down to hit this one, go up and then hit these last 3 ones, like so. And there you go. So let's assume you lose the lightning shield because you can bounce on the boss, but it's also possible to lose the lightning shield, so I'm just gonna do this shieldless. You can just like spam the insta shield like that carefully. Here for this boss, you can just hit it and then move to the other side. And then wait for the boss to... You can just like do this if you're looking to play it super safe for the boss. You can just hit it and then go all the way to the other side. And that kind of works for Red Eye if you need to play it as safe as possible. Also, hi Jaren. How's Geometry Dash going? You beat Plasma Pulse? Nice. So yeah, that's Red Eye with safe strats. If you have to do it that way, you just like hit it, go the other way, wait for it, and then you just repeat the process. If you wanna do Red Eye super safe, it loses like 45 seconds. But it doesn't matter that much unless you want to be like a super pro or something dumb. Here you can either get that lightning shield or that other lightning shield. They are like right next to each other. So it doesn't matter which one you take. Here you can go down normally. Or you can despawn the platforms by going inside a place where there's a few monitors and then spin dash the other way. But it only saves a few seconds, so let's assume that you don't do that. Here, you kind of just copy this movement, you wait for this platform to go off screen, then wait a bit more, land on it, and then do a one-tap. And then you just wait for these things, and avoid losing the lightning shield ideally. I'm gonna show you how to do the next part without the lightning shield, but if you have the lightning shield, obviously you can do it safer. So, you just get on these platforms, then you push this one, you wait for this thing to shoot out, and then you jump. It is harder than it looks, but it's still not that bad. As long as you don't get hit by the projectiles or accidentally push too far. As long as you don't push those things too far, you won't fall. And as long as you don't accidentally get hit, and then you just do the rest like this, you can just go up that slope instead of jumping. You can go up slopes instead of jumping if you want. But jumping up the slopes is obviously a bit faster. There's another lightning shield here, but by then it kind of doesn't matter too much. It is about the same anyways. So here, you know how to do Uwu, right? You just do a spin dash and jump. And hits the wall. Like that. It's super easy once you learn it. Like so. You just hit the boss like that. And then the final boss is actually quite tricky. But you can just spin dash to hit the fingers in the final boss if you need to. So now onto the final boss. So you wanna count the black lines and you wanna stand on this third one and make sure that the white dot in Sonic's right shoe is like aligned with that black line, and then you can just do spin dashes like this to hit the fingers. And now for the laser phase, you wanna hit the boss 4 times. You wanna do 1, 2, jump for the third hit, and then get to the 4th hit. 1, 2, jump over, and then get to the last hit. Like that. Here you can either risk it or you can just wait for Robotnik. It doesn't matter, it's only a small time loss if you wait for Robotnik to come here. And you can just like hit Robotnik over and over until the run's over. And GG 101-14. I guess. I mean, this is what says strats, so other than like the complex movement, you can kind of just use the strats. Like that. You can just like use these strats. Yeah, you can watch it if you want at any point, and also I have the commentary. Yeah, I